So Leads360 is a software as a service company, very much like Salesforce.com. So I definitely consider us Web 2.0. We have a lead management platform. And basically what that means is that we sell our software to people that buy leads or generate leads, primarily on the internet, but other sources as well. In particular, this show is mostly internet leads at this LeadsCon show. So they use our software to first receive the leads over the internet in real time, and then they use our software to manage and track all of the activities associated with those leads. So making call attempts, taking notes, following up, sending emails, all that stuff is automated through our software, and it really just makes it very easy for a salesperson to come in the morning and just know exactly what to do. The thing about Salesforce is, and this is the big distinction I like to say, Salesforce and other CRM products are really B2B products, meaning that they sell their product to companies that sell to businesses. LeadsCon is primarily businesses that sell to consumers, mortgage, insurance, debt, education. They're selling their products and services direct to consumers. So our product is designed for that kind of sale, and a B2B sale is very different than a B2C sale. It's very fast, a B2C sale, a lot more leads. Those kinds of factors drive the features of our product, and so yeah, it's on steroids when it comes to that kind of sale. We have about a little over 4,000 clients, and we have over 25 million leads in our database right now. And we get about 300,000 leads a month on behalf of our clients, and that could be across all verticals. We are in mortgage, insurance, debt, all the big verticals, and that's across 1,600 lead providers or lead sources. So we have a really big sprinkling of data that we leverage, frankly, and we share analytics and information and best practices around really what makes a lead convert and what is the way you should call a lead and how quickly and how many times and all that kind of stuff. We can analyze what each individual client is doing, what each individual lead source, how effective they've been, and share that data with our clients, and that's kind of what we call thought leadership.
Transparency, how does that fit into your world?
Well, I mean, we kind of create transparency for our clients because we shine a flashlight on lead source. So if a lead source is not sharing a lot of data about where that lead was generated, we don't necessarily know where it was generated, but we can tell how it performed. And so they can use that information to adjust their buy. And so in a lot of cases, our clients find one of two things. They either find that the lead sources that they're getting are not producing, and so they switch, or they find out that their lead sources are actually producing a lot better than they think, and they shift marketing dollars to buy more of those leads or generate more.
So if I'm an EDU source and I come to you and I want to buy 10,000 EDU leads a month, I could do that, right?
You could buy that many. You wouldn't buy those from us, and that's a really important distinction because we don't sell leads. We sell software, and so we help you manage the leads that you get. Now we can introduce you to people based on characteristics of what you're looking for. We have relationships with lots of lead providers, so we'll introduce you and help you find the source, but we take a very agnostic approach. We're non-biased. We want to help you succeed.
Okay, let me ask it in a different way. I come to you and I say, I want to buy your software, and you say, what are you going to do with it? I say, I'm going to buy 10,000 leads a month in EDU space. You turn me on to 10 or 15 different vendors. Then my software will analyze and compare those vendors and tell me which ones the ROI is better, the conversions are better, correct?
Yeah, it'll show you not only at the end of the funnel how the conversions are, how the ROI is for each source, but it's going to tell you how your different salespeople are doing with each source. And you may find, in a lot of cases we find, that one source is effective with a certain type of salesperson, and one source is not effective with that salesperson. So you can use our system to route the leads to people that are most effective, and that's the data you can find on our system.
So you can also rate your salespeople.
Absolutely.
And is it you guys that say that it's pretty much 50-50, 50% is quality of lead, 50% is the quality of the salesperson?
That's what we say. We did a study and we found 57% is the quality of the lead, so it's obviously super important. But 43% is what you do with that lead after. So it means that you could be buying crappy leads and you can still actually do pretty well because you have a good sales process.
And vice versa.
And vice versa.
Okay. So if you were a company that needed lots of leads, would you use Leads360?
Absolutely, because the more volume of leads you have, the more important our software is. If you have a lot of salespeople, a lot of lead sources, there's complexity. You have leads going to different states potentially. You might need to route to different people. There's a lot of rules that would need to be created to manage that volume. We have clients that have 2, 3 salespeople, and we have clients that have 1,000 salespeople.
What about co-reg? How does that fit into the piece of the puzzle?
It really doesn't have a significant impact on the way our software works. It's just another type of lead that can be generated, and our clients buy leads from a lead source, they generate on their own website, they buy Google AdWords, they get direct mail, they do all those different methods, and we help them see what's working and where they should allocate their dollars, but we don't necessarily tell them, don't use this particular type of lead source because it's just bad. We let them discover what works for them.
And then they can rate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they can choose how to spend their marketing dollars.
But a company could come to you and say, I need software, but I also need guidance.
Yeah.
Are you staffed up well enough where you have enough
sales
support that you could help a company? I'm a little small resort in North Carolina, and I want to have high quality leads that come in within 600 miles of my resort, and I want the best possible at the lowest possible price.
Yeah.
What can you do for me?
Well, the first part of your question is a great question. The second part I'll address in a second, but the key to, or one of the keys to our business is we do have a deep bench. We're the largest provider of this service in the space. We have competitors, of course, but they're quite a bit smaller. And so one of the things we pride ourselves on is the amount of service that we can actually give you. And if you talk to some of our clients here, they'll tell you that we really go above and beyond on that front. And it's expensive, and that's why our product is more expensive than our competitors. It's because we're there for you. We're gonna pick up the phone, we have people that'll train you, we have all that stuff. So that's a really important part of our business. So the second part of your question is, if you're looking to find a very unique lead source, in the example you just gave, we have relationships with lead providers that can help you create a custom program. So that vertical that you just described, there's not a lot of big players generating that specific of a lead. It's not like mortgage, where there's 100 companies or debt doing those kinds of leads. So we also work with a lot of companies that specialize, and you give them the exact criteria you just said, and they come up with a plan on how to drive that specific type of lead. So we can help you find those companies too.
And you can help us do that. You have the people staff to do it. Someone calls in to buy your software, and you will advise them, spend an hour with them,
Sure.
2 hours with them.
Yeah.
That's part of the deal.
I mean, think about it, because from our perspective, we get a lot of referrals from lead providers, because a lead provider, the biggest issue that a lead provider has is they sell you a lead, and they get a call from you and say, these leads suck. These leads are no good. That is the number one thing. Right, they want that. So how do they get that? Well, if you look at our statistics, 57% is lead quality. So they're sure their leads are good. 47% is sales process. Chances are the leads don't suck, but actually what it is, they're just not calling them. And so they want to refer our product because their clients will be more successful with the leads. And so us having relationships with lead providers is a good thing. So when we get a client that says, hey, can you help us find a lead provider? We want to make that referral, so we spend time to understand it, so that then that lead provider will come back to us and say, hey, you know what? I got a new client, and I want you to sell them lead management software so that they won't call me and say, yeah, these leads are no good.